Hello everyone and welcome to Placement Seekers Hub channel. In this video, we are going to see the coding questions asked in an TCS NQT exam which was dated on 12 September 2021. If you are new here and watching our video for the first time, then let me tell you we post the job updates and the interview experience on the YouTube channel and also in our Telegram channel. And you can join our Telegram channel by the link mentioned in the description box. Before starting this video, make sure you have liked this video and subscribe our channel. Now let's start with an our video. So this was the first question asked in an TCS NQT exam. So let me read you the question. So question is, an automobile company manufactures both two-wheeler and four-wheeler, and a company manager wants to make the production of both types of vehicles according to the given data. So there is some kind of a data given, and according to which a manager wants to develop both two-wheelers and the four-wheelers. So the first data will be given as the total number of vehicles. So it will include both two-wheeler plus four-wheeler, and which is equals to v. So we can take v as a variable, and there is a second data that is total number of wheels. So as we know that four-wheeler has four wheels and two-wheeler has two wheels. So depending upon that, we can calculate the numbers of two-wheelers and four-wheelers we can have. So that's what the task is. So the task is to find how many two-wheelers as well as four-wheelers need to manufacture as per the given data. So this was the sample test case given. So the input is 200, which is value of v. So v is the total number of vehicles a manager want to manufacture, and 540 is an value of w. So 540 is an total number of wheels all over the vehicles can have. So output will be tw. So it is an two-wheeler. So there will be two-wheeler manufacturing of 130, and four-wheeler. So fw is four-wheeler, and which is equals to 70. So explanation given is 130 plus 70, that is 200 vehicles. So value of v will be 200, and 70 is number of four wheelers. So 70 into 4. So as four wheeler has four wheels, so 70 into 40 plus 130 into 2, it is equals to 540 wheels. So this will be the value of w. So we have to calculate how many two wheelers and how many four wheelers a manager can manufacture. So this is some of the constraint given, and if the number of wheels is less than, if number of vehicles is if number of wheels is less than that of the vehicles, then it will be the invalid outputs. So let's see the code. So here is the code in the C++. So we have taken taken the two variables intv and intw. So in we have taken user input. So the four wheeler is calculated as v. So v is the number of vehicles, into 4. So why we have done it, to check that if the all cars can be of a four wheelers. So the value of v is 200. 200 into 400, it is 800. So which is we need the 800 wheels. So we have only 540 wheels, so this condition is not possible. So what we did is 800 minus 540. So 800 minus 540 we get as a 260. So 260 extra wheels we need, so it is not possible, and divide by 2 we did it. So 130. So the number of two wheelers will be 230, as each we want to decrease four wheeler and increase the wheels. So to get that to get the value of the two wheeler vehicles to manufacture, we have calculated this. And if wheels are less than two, or wheels are less than vehicles, so which is not possible. So we have given a cout as invalid input, and the output is given as two wheeler equals to 130, and then four wheeler will be equals to 200 minus 130. So its value will be 70. So it was quite a easy question. So the next question was given as given a string yes of asterisk and hash. The length of the string is variable. So the length of the string is not mentioned. The task is to find the minimum numbers of asterisks or hash to be its a valid string. So the string is considered valid if the number of asterisk and hash are equal. So if in the string the star and the hash will be equal, then it will be a valid string, and they can be at any position. So note, the output will be positive or negative integer based on the number of star and hash in the input string. So positive, it will be positive when star will be greater than hash, then output will be positive. When hash will be greater than star, so it will be negative. And if both will be equal, then output should be 0. For example, here we have taken input string as 3 hash and 3 star, which is our input string. So output will be 0 as there are both values are same, 3 and 3, so it's 0. So here is the C code for this. We take string s as an input, and then we define C1 and C2. So C1 will count the how many stars are there, and C2 will count how many hash are there. So as the length will be variable, after taking the input, we calculate the length of the string using the inbuilt function length. Then we have to now go through all the characters in a string one by one. So we use the for loop and check for the each of these, and then when the when the char will be star, then C1 will be incremented, and when char will be hash, then C2 will be incremented. And depending upon the condition, as the star will be greater than hash, then output should be positive. So C out is given as C1 minus C2. So this was this sample test case and output as an 0. So this was the second question asked in today's 12th September's exam. So the question number 3 is, there is a chocolate factory uh, which is packing the chocolates into the packets. So the chocolate packets here present an array ARR of n number of integers values. So we can say that n is the value size of an integer. The task is to find the empty packets. So when the array will contains a 0 as an of its element, then it will be considered as an empty packet of a chocolate, and then we have to push it at the end of the array. So here, for example, here is given n is equals to 7 and array is given. So as I said, there 0 is considered as an empty packet. So in this array there are 3 zeros, so there are 3 empty packets on the belt, we can say. So we have to push this 0 at the end of the array, so as mentioned above. So let's see the example. So n is the size of an array, and then we take this array as an input, and as I said, the output, at the output, this 0 will this 0 will go at the end, and 1 will be shift to one position, and all this element will be shifted to one position, and so on. If the 0 will be there, then it will be shifted to the last position at the array. So this is the second example. Here two zeros are there, so see, you can say that two zeros are shifted to the last of an array, and all the elements are shifted to the zeros. So for this, let's see the coding and see. So here we take as the input n. Yeah, so here n is the size of an array and j equals to 0. Then what we did is we defined whole array initially as an 0. So all the elements of an array a is 0. So now we check the input input from the data. So if the input is not 0, then we take it into the array, and if input is 0, we leave it. So this is how then 0 will be uh, as uh, as there will be 0 in the all positions. Only the non-zero elements will be changed with an 0, and remaining elements will be equals to 0. So this is how the output will look like, and which is exact output as per the question. So there may be many different ways, so I found it this way very easy, so I did it in this way. And question number 4, Joseph is learning a digital logic subject which will be for his next semester. He usually tries to solve the unit assignment problems before the lecture. Today he got one tricky question. The problem statement is, a positive integer has been given in an input. Convert a digital value to the binary representation. Toggle all the bits it after the most significant bit, including the most significant bit, and print the positive integer value after the toggling. So let's see the example. So when we give the input as an integer, the output should be 5. So explanation regarding this is, binary representation of 10 is 1010. So After toggling means 1 will be converted to 0 and 0 will be exchanged with an 1. So after toggling it will be 0 1 0 1, and when we convert this binary into digital it will represent the 5. Hence for the input we have to do the same. So the best way is to do with an using a XOR gate. So here we take n, so that is the input number, and we have to convert it to the required number. So we consider temp as equals to 1 until temp is less than or equals to n, so that is the our given number. We did n XOR temp. So XOR is actually a bitwise operator, so whatever number will be in the n, it will be operated at bitwise only. So initially, so 10 will be there, 10 XOR 1 will be done, and after that after that temp will be shifted by one position, and this goes on, and this is how by XORing we did the toggling of an elements, and shifting the numbers we get our required output. So this was a trick hidden behind this. So if you know the logic of an XOR gate, then it will be easy or it will go hard for you. And next question is, Jack is always excited about the Sunday, and it's a favorite day when he gets to play all the day and goes to cycling with his friends. So every time when the month starts, he counts the number of Sundays he will get to enjoy. So considering the month can start with any day, it will be the Sunday, Monday, or so on. Count the number of Sundays Jack will get within a n number of days. So for example, the input will be a string will be given as an input that uh, so here the input is mon, so it is a Monday, so it is an input string denoting that it is the start of a month, so it is the first day of a month. And then 13 is an input integer denoting that the number of days from the start of the month. So after the after the one date of any month, it will we have to calculate how many Sundays will be there till the 13 days from that day. So output will be 2, so there will be 2 Sundays coming in the 13 days, first 13 days we can say. So explanation is the month starts with a Monday, so the upcoming Sunday will arrive in the next 6 days, and the next Sunday will arrive in the next 7 days, and so on. And now the total number of days are 13, so it means that 6 days to the first Sunday, and the remaining 7 days will end up in another Sunday. So there will be 2 Sunday may fall within the 13 days. So regarding this, there is a solution in Python, a code in Python. So initially we define all the days. So as there are only 7 days, we define the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday as a list of in a days, and then we take day as an input. So as input as was given as an first 3 letters of an day, so we take it as an input, and then the number of days were given, so we take it into the n. And what we did is v is equals to 6 minus days. So as after every 7 days that day will be repeated, so we did 6 minus the index of that day. Suppose Monday will be given, then 6 minus we did 0, so value of v will be c, and we take answer as a variable equals to 0. So while v is greater than 0, we will be uh, greater than 0, then what we did is increment the answer, and we subtracted the number of days minus values, and the answer is divided by 7, because there are 7 days in a week, and after every 7 days that day will be repeated. So to calculate the number of the Sundays to be repeated, we get into the answer, and the answer will be 2 for the given test case. Question number 6, there is a number, and the task is to split the number into the multiple parts in such a fashion as to find the highest product, print the highest product value. So suppose n is equal to 4 is given, then 4 can be split into 2 comma 2, that is 2 plus 2 can be again 4. So the product of 2 comma 2 can be given as 2 into 2 is equals to 4. Similarly, for n equals to 6, we can have it as 3 plus 3 or 2 plus 2 plus 2. So 2 into 2 will be 4, and 4 into 2 will be 8, and 3 into 3 will be 9. So as 3 into 3 into is equals to 9 is greater than 2 into 2 into 2, so 9 will be its output, as we want the highest product. And similar for n equals to 8, n equals to 15, and so on. So there is one example as we discussed above. So for this, what we did is we took an integer, that is a number from a user, and after that we check if that number itself is 2 or 3, because if 2 will be there then it can be split into only one way, that is 1 plus 1, and if 3 will be there then it can be split into 2 plus 1 or 1 plus 1 plus 1. So 1 into 1 into 1 will be always give 1, and 2 into 1 will be give output as a 2. So that will be its highest product. So the output can be given as for n equals to 2 the output will be 1, and for n equals to 3 the output will be 2. If it is apart from 2 and 3, then we move ahead. Then the variable result equals to res equals to 1, while our number is greater than 4, we did it as n is equals to n minus 3. So we subtract 3, and then result is equals to we do n into 3. So uh, what we need is we want to multiply the product, so in the result we store the product and we go on subtracting the number till we get the number less than 4, and at last the remaining number will be less than 4 something 2 or 3, and then we multiply that number in with the result and then print it. So this will give our desired output, and this was the logic behind this question. The next question is, there is a given non-negative integer array ARR having a size n. Each element to the array will carry a different value. That means that no two elements can have a same values. The candidate, which means that there will be no duplicates. The candidate has to do this with minimal changes in the original value of elements, making every element at as least as much as value as its original had. Find the minimum value of all the elements that can be set the array for. So the example is the input will be given as initial 3, which will be the size of an array. Then elements of an array will be given as input, so 2 2 3, then output is 9. So how it will be 9? So as two elements have the same value, that is here we can see that 2 and 2 is repeated, the max value for one of them needs to be incremented to 3. So as there cannot be repeated value, we want to increase that value. So one of the two get increased to the 3, and then we want the minimum, we want the output as a sum of the elements, and which will be 2 plus 3 plus 4, which will be give 9. So this is how output is 9. So let's see logic behind this. So here is an code in Python. So here minimum function, we have defined one function. So let's start from the input. Here n is input, so we take the element of an what we can say size of an array into n, and then we define one list. While the number is integer, then we take it as an element, we take it as an input, and if we check for the space is there, so if the space will be there, then there will be the end of the list. So after that we break it. Then if it is non-space element, then we append that to the list, and after that we print the min sum function. Go to min sum function. Here we check for the length and the n. So if the length of the list will not be equal to, and then the input will be wrong. So if it will happen, then we directly return the value from here, and it will print the wrong input as an output. If not, then we go ahead. So here one more result list is taken. Then for I in list, if I is not in res, so if that element will not be in the result list, then we append that value from list to the res, and if it will be there, then we increment the value of I. So this is how all the duplicates will be removed, and then after that we print the sum of the result, and here we will get the sum of the result by the incrementing that 2 to 2 plus 1 equals to 3, and we get as output. The next question is, given an unsorted integer array of n elements, the task is to find the segment in which all the elements are increasing order and which have a maximum sum that other segments than the other segments. Print the sum as an output. So there is one array given to you. Suppose this is the array given to you, then this is an unsorted array. We have to find, we can say, the subarray which are in the increasing order and which gives their sum as a maximum out of it. So here there will be a two th two subarrays, 2, 3 and 200, and another will be 4 and 5. So sum of there will be 2 plus 3 plus 200 will be 205, and 4 plus 5 will be 9. As 205 is greater than 9, the output will be 205. So let's see logic behind this. So initially we take n is the size of an array, and then we define an array and take the elements as an input into the array. After that, we take the one variable to see the max, what will be the max value, and then we take sum as an value, and then we define sum equals to the first element of array, and then we take one more for loop, that is the first leaving the first I elements behind and starting from the I2 till last element of an array, and we check if the next element will be is greater or not. If it is greater, then we add it with the sum, and and we check for the another next element, or if it is not greater, then we break the sub array there. And if we check that if the sum is a sum which we get from the elements is greater than our max element, so if it will be greater than our max element, then we take that sum into the max, and after this whole for loop we will get a maximum sum from our sub arrays, and we print it here. So here we can see that the test given sample test case answer. So that was all about the 8 questions asked in the today's asked in the 12 September's NQT exam. So these were the coding questions asked in TCS NQT in the morning slot of the 12 September. And for the more questions and the answers, you can join our Telegram channel. Thank you guys for watching the whole video. If you found our content more informative, do subscribe our channel. Thank you.